go. Welcome back to another episode of the Trade Room. This episode, I'm gonna give you 6 guys that I just absolutely love to start this season. 6 guys that you should be absolutely starting, I think, in your Supercoach team to start the NRL season. NRL season is quite literally just over 3 weeks away. We have a preseason game tomorrow. Preseason starts tomorrow. Vegas is in 3 weeks. The whole round 1 gets underway in just over 4 weeks now. Probably 4 weeks now, actually, on the day I'm recording this. Absolutely bloody excited, but I get it. There's going to be plenty of changes between now and then. I'm recording this a day after Supercoach has come out with the changes that they're going to be using NRL stats now for scoring, which is a huge, huge change. And if you're just new to Supercoach, Supercoach used to use Fox Sports stats, and now they're switching to NRL stats. You might be thinking, wouldn't NRL and Fox Sports stats be about the same? Nope, they are 100% different. It's crazy the discrepancies that you see in even just tackles, how try assists are given. So NRL give try assists just to last pass. So even if a 2-on-1 situation with a center and a winger, center passes off to the winger for an easy try, they'll give it to the center. In Fox and in Supercoach, they'll award it to the player that actually created and set up the try in the situation. So a lot of the time that's either swinging around the back fullback or it could be a halfback there as well. But now we're going to see a lot of centers get a bit more of an advantage as well. We see a bit more of an uptick in tackles there as well. So if you're someone that's looking to start with potentially a gun fullback who has swept around the back a lot and gets a lot of try assists, I would be looking to try and avoid those players. But that is not in this episode. That is, if you want to go see comparisons, there's other content creators out there who have put all the stats together and got those numbers together for you. But I'm going to give you 6 guys, as I said, that I am absolutely starting with 100% for my Supercoach season. I think you should be starting with 2. Kicking off, we're going to go a couple Gold Coast Titans. My first one on the list, I started with him last year. He's at a discounted price last year, but he's absolutely unreal. And that is Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, 26.5% owned in a 2RF there, 687k. Does look like now with Jermaine Jolliffe now out for the season, Tino will be prop. So we are expecting Tino to get dual front row / 2RF, which is definitely a massive thing to have for sure. You can switch them into that front row there. Maybe you want to have Trey Mooney there on your bench now and have another sort of gun there in your 2RF if you are looking to have that there. I think if I'm having Tino, he's in my 2RF at the moment. I will probably look to have him in my front row there. But now with these rule changes, it just makes me love him even more. I had him in there before. Now I love him even more because he's going to get more of an uptick in tackles because he's going to be in that front row there. So they award tackles now to the third tackler in the tackle, now third player in the tackle there as well. So it's going to be about 4 or 5 average on more tackles per game that you're going to see from players like Tino, which going from last year, coming off a 70-point average, played 19 games, coming off obviously that down year in the ACL, played only 2 games in 2024. 3 tries in the 19 games, played 58 minutes on average, which sounds about right for Tino, but we know he has got the motor to go more minutes if needed. 51 base there, so we're expecting that to obviously increase heading into this year with the new rules, going at 1.21 points per minute, which is absolutely outstanding. 6 create, 13 evade, and he has the ability to score a few tries, as we saw here and there that we saw from last year. Saw 3 tries. I think I remember in his first game back last year, he scored a try there as well. He has the ability to turn up as well when he does score a try. So such a handy player to have. And he's just a guy that's never really going to let you down in regards to a floor. Doesn't really go that super low score. But I say he's got that ceiling. If he needs to go 100 plus, he actually can scores over 80 very consistently there as well. So doesn't have a bye until round 8 as well, which I find super advantageous. So you're going to get 7 full games out of Tino, and coming off a very full, healthy preseason for the first time in a couple of years. Tino is definitely someone I'm looking to start with, and he's kind of matchup proof as well, being in that front row, being the captain of the team there as well. Starts with a few games on the road against the Sharkies, Dolphins, and the Cowboys, but I'll look at those 2 of those matchup, particularly against the Dolphins and the Cowboys, Queensland derbies. He'll want to step up in situations like that. And then you look at round 1 against the Sharks. He'll want to step up in that situation too and put his put his mark on this team and really impress Josh Hannay and give Josh Hannay potentially a win in that first game there as well. Then you got the Dragons in round 4, Broncos at home, and then Eels in round 6. So it's probably 5 very favorable matchups I'm looking ahead in that first 6 rounds there. And then obviously heading into that bye in round 8. Most likely he will be on Origin duty coming into the middle of the season, but that is something we'll deal with down the track there. But I'm just looking for a guy like maybe Tino, or if you're looking for another option like Isaiah Yeo is another really good option now. Just someone who's going to easily rack me up at least 60 a week, potentially score an odd try here and there, and just super consistent. Someone that's going to get you 60 minutes every single game, just puts his heart and soul into the team. Captain of the team, I want Tino in my team. All right, the second Gold Coast Titan I was speaking about, most people will be starting with him, but I said these are guys I want to be starting with here, and that is going to be Keano Kini from the Gold Coast Titans there at fullback there. He's in my fullback slot. He's not in my flex at the moment. He will be one of my 2 fullbacks I think I'll be starting with there. And you can't go past Keano Kini. Again, he's 44.7% owned, but it's at such a discounted price, $495,000 there. Obviously, coming off that injury-riddled year last year from that neck injury, which was pretty brutal. And a few of those games, he ended up coming off the bench there as well. Only averaged 51 minutes per game last season. Didn't even score a try. Had a 51 average. I think you got to look at Keano Kini, what he did in 2024 when he started to really come into that fullback spot there, and what he can do with Jaden Campbell in that spot there. He came into the back end of the season where Titans weren't in a position to make finals. Now you're starting fresh, healthy preseason, round 1, well, I have a lot of belief under a new coach. This pretty much goes without saying. I think you have to start with Keano Kini. And I said, if you're new to Supercoach, that sort of thing, must start with Keano Kini. He's only going to make you cash. If he fails, you're pretty much going to fail with a lot of other people as well. And you don't want to be one of those 55% of people who don't start with Keano Kini and he goes 70, 80, 80, and you're having to scramble to try get him in, and you look like a complete idiot because you didn't start one and you miss out on those scores at the start. As I said, you got a few favorable matchups, same as Tino to start this year. Dolphins and Cowboys, 2 very favorable matchups to start the season there. Definitely have to start with Keano Kini. Without a doubt, I thought he looked awesome in the Pac Champs, starting fullback for the Kiwis there. Scored that length of the field try. I think it was against Tonga, which is unbelievable. So yeah, Keano Kini is in there without a doubt. One of my first pick to start the year. All right, let's head into our third one, because this third guy here is someone who gets a lot of shit every single year. Just absolutely cops it every single year for poor performances. When it comes to played Origin, cops it there. He's just cops it left, right, and center. But he proves in and out every single year he's an absolute super coach gun. That is my boy, Prince Nicho Hynes, the wet hair prince from the Sharkies there. I don't get what the hate is around Nicho. I'm a Nicho guy. I think Nicho's awesome. I think he's an awesome footballer. The talks that we get every single year that he shouldn't be 7, he should be 6, he should be fullback, he should be lock, he should be coming off the bench, he doesn't have the talent there. He literally averaged, 7 or 8 points less than Nathan Cleary last year. He continues year in, year out to be the guy for the Cronulla Sharks that is their guy. Like, create a spark and attack. Here's that guy. We're seeing the revolution of the running 7 now in the modern day era of rugby league, whether it's Jerome Hughes, whether it's a guy like Sammy Walker now there as well. Even Nathan Cleary loves a run there as well. Jaden Campbell. I could go on and on about the running 7, and Nicho Hynes fits perfectly into that mold. You know, like, we don't see Jaden Campbell getting stick at all that he should be fullback or 5A or shouldn't be starting at all. But he averages more than what Jaden Campbell does, and he goal kicks, averaged 77 last year, played every single minute of footy for the Sharkies last year. Thought he really took a big stepping stone into that finals last year as well, beating the Roosters and then having a really solid game, I thought, against the Raiders there as well. 1 game away from the big dance. I think he'll be looking for a massive year as well. Scored 7 tries last year, which honestly I thought was probably a little bit on the lighter side, but still 7 tries for a halfback I think is good going. 29 in base. Again, that's something that's going to uptick this year as well by a few points with the amount of tackles that he does for a halfback. Create is 26, evade is 7. Now, he is kind of one of those players that I think will kind of average, like, when you look at like the new changes, he'll average more in base because of the tackles. he may lose a few assists though because of the new rule, which is going to be interesting to see. However, another point I want to mention is he's got on the right side, he's got one of the best line ball runners on his edge, and that is Britton Nikora. Now, I think Britton Nikora started the year absolutely flying last year, and then he actually started to get a bit cold. I think that combination comes back this year, and you look at the combination they have where it's just that little short ball from Nicho to Britton. I think the assist that he loses, he's actually going to gain it back with the extra tries that Nikora will actually score this year. So, doesn't have a bye until round 7, so you get 7 full rounds out of Nicho there to start the season there. You've got Titans at home, Panthers away, Dolphins at home, Raiders away, Warriors away, Roosters at home. Not the worst draw in the world, not the best draw in the world though. You look at that compared to Cleary, I think he's got the better draw over Cleary. You can look at over Sammy Walker. Sammy Walker, you just don't know how he's going to combine with Daly Cherry Evans to start the year. You can look at Jerome Hughes, who doesn't goal kick. You can look at someone like Jaden Campbell if you want there. But again, you just don't know how the Titans will go in that new system with Josh Hannay. With Nicho, you know exactly what you're going to get. And he averaged 77 last year, and everyone thought it was a down year. If that was a down year, I am so freaking excited to see what he can do if he gets back to his best, because back to his best was a Dally M season. I think he averaged 80 plus in that 2023 season when he was playing halfback there for the Sharkies. I'm a Nicho guy. I've had no problem with even not even a thought with actually even putting Nicho out of my team. 11.7% on it, 749k. Just seems like a wicked price for a gun halfback there. The ability to score tries, ability to score assists. Yeah, you can say the Braden Trindle combo like here and there, but Nicho is the guy on this team. He is the attack. Like, he just is the attack. So I haven't even thought twice about not starting with Nicho. I think once you see the start how Nicho is with the goal kicking and all this sort of thing, I think people will start to flock to Nicho. He hasn't last year, didn't have the massive scores, like massive ceiling scores like he did the year before and years prior. There's no reason why he can't go back to that though. And I think we're going to see that this year. Line breaks, line assists. He used to be a fullback and now you're getting out a halfback there. Love Nicho, my boy, to start the season. All right, let's cross over to a couple South players, and we're going to go straight into our first center for the year. Now it's going to be Latrell Mitchell there, 36.9% owned, 626k, CTW only. The first time we've had Latrell at a CTW only to start the season or any really part of the season. And obviously the big thing, we talk about turbos, injury riddled, that sort of thing. Latrell is definitely injury riddled. Player for sure. Only played 11 games last year, obviously suspended as well. He definitely coming off a down year, averaged 64 last year, and I get it. He's moving from fullback to center now, most likely that we know that. Obviously, he averaged close to 80, I believe it was. Let me actually get it up here. What he did average in the prior years. Let's find that really quickly. So 89 in 2024, 77 2023, 85 2022, and 82 in 2021. So you look at that 64 compared to his lowest other year in the previous 4 years, which is 77. He's 100% coming off a down year. 2 tries in 11 games, average 79 minutes when he did play those games. Just 19 in base there, 0.81 points per minute, 23 in create, 14 in evade. Goal kicking, as we know for Souths there. I don't really see a downside to this. And the upside I see to this is now you've got the new scoring rule. You've got that left edge with Fifita, Cody Walker, and AJ as well. Hey, if you get an overlap there where it goes like Cody Walker and Fifita runs a decoy or something, and then you go Latrell and then easy ball to AJ, guess who's getting that assist now? It's going to be Latrell. So you're adding another sort of 12 points on, plus your line break assist there, plus you got the goal kicking there as well. I just think you're getting a discount, even though it's 626k to start the season. I think you're getting a discount on Latrell Mitchell to start your season here. And I get it, he's CTW only, but if Jai Gray goes down with an injury or something, he goes straight back to that fullback spot there. And you're getting a CTW who plays fullback and is goal kicking there. Favorable draw, I think, to start with. Dolphins on the road, Roosters away, which can be anything. You get Tigers at home. I get it, you've got the bye. And then you get the Bulldogs and the Raiders at home there as well, which can absolutely anything can happen. And South's coming off a very much a down year last year. I think you're getting such a good price on Latrell to start the season. Definitely will be one of my guns to start the season. I haven't even, again, similar with Nicho, haven't even thought twice about not starting with Latrell there. He will be 100% one of my guns, especially now with the improved scoring now. I just can't see myself not starting with Latrell to start the season there. So if you're looking to fade or start with Latrell, I would highly recommend starting with Latrell there. I think you're getting a very discounted price. All right, let's move into our second South player. This one, a lot of people own. It's kind of an obvious one. I just want to touch on it very quickly though. That is gonna be Cheese, Hectic Cheese, Brandon Smith, 48.5% own there. Only 234k now. We think he'll probably be either starting at 9 there or get a really good minutes off the bench for South this year. What I want to talk about Cheese and tip my hat to him is so glad he's done that. He's got off the booze. He's gambling, that sort of thing. He's really turned a new corner there. He's gone to come out on a podcast and say he's going to rehab in the off season. He's clean off the booze. He's really turned over a new leaf. Looks like he's finally got a bit of, not finally, but looks like he's got a bit of maturity now in his life. And he's still going to be the same character that we see, but it looks like he's really starting to get a bit more serious about his footy. Ever since he left the Storm and went to the Roosters, even South last year, he just hasn't been the same Hectic Cheese that we know about. But now he's gone what he's gone through. He looks like under Wayne. Looks like he thinks it's his last opportunity there to really excel in the NRL there, which I really love for Cheese. I think he's really going to prove it. And we saw what he could do when he was at the Storm. He was absolutely lethal. What he saw what we did to the Kiwis as well. I think he's absolutely unreal. Only played 5 games last year, averaged 28, averaged 48 minutes per game. 23 in base, 0.58 points per minute, 4 on create, 3 in evade there. Same as Latrell, same has that early buy there. But I think to start the season there, particularly the first 2 games, Jamie Humphries is suspended. No one knows how Cheese will play this role in this team, right? But if I was Wayne Bennett and if I was coaching this team here, I would start Cheese for the first 20-25 minutes there with Marmazelis on the bench. I'd get Cheese out of that sort of early sort of tussle there with that hard sort of carries there. He's a bigger dude compared to Marmazelis. Get the tackles in, just get, good sort of attacking role play going there. Get him off, get him to halftime, and then come back on with sort of 20-25 minutes to go. Either in the hooker role or in that forward role there, and where he's got a bit of energy. He's got that sort of bullyish bulldog about him where he can dart out of dummy half if he needs to, or he can score that sneaky little one or have an assist here and there. We know he's going to be a really good linchpin at that sort of, he comes back into that lock role there. And you've just got to expect a better year from Cheese here. And only 234k. If it goes wrong, you can trade up to someone who is going to make cash in that same position there. Or there's most likely going to be downgrading to a cheapie that's making cash, and then you've got cash to upgrade to someone who is doing well. Maybe like a Reed Marnie, maybe like a Jape Simpkin, maybe you upgrade straight to a gun. You've just got to expect Cheese to make a cash. If you're looking, I think he can average 40. You're probably looking for him to get around 400k, and I think you can do that by sort of round 7, round 8 there. Then that's where you can trade to potentially a gun, or you can trade to someone like a Reed Marnie from there as well, someone who plays 80 minutes. That sort of thing. So Cheese, he's 48.5% owned, but for a good reason. I said you don't want to be one of those people who was in the 51% there who doesn't start with Cheese and he comes out, goes 40, 50, 50. And then you're scrambling to try and get him potentially, or you've made the wrong move and you're having to waste a trade. Just start with Cheese. He's going to play an influential role in this team. He'll be looking for a massive big year now, coming off a couple down years at the Roosters and at South last year. Turned a new corner. I will be starting with Hectic Cheese. All right, there's your 5 guys so far. And obviously, look, everyone's going to start with this guy as well. The other South guy is obviously David Fifita that you're going to be looking to start with there as well. David Fifita, I think he's like 420k or something in that tour RF, starting on the left edge. Again, very, very discounted price to start the season with David Fifita. I feel like that's just obvious. So you've seen in every podcast, I don't need to go on about Cheese and what his sort of role will be at Fifita and what his role will be like in that team. Probably play 60, 65 minutes. You'd be probably stupid not to start with Fifita, in my opinion. It literally has the ability, if he scores a try, he's probably going to go 80 plus, and then you look like a complete idiot. And you're going to want to get in Fifita. You're probably going to have to trade out a pod or something. You're just a waste of a trade. So, my opinion, just get in David Fifita to start the season. I feel like that's a pretty obvious one, though, to start the season. All right, my last one here is going to be a Newcastle Knight, and this guy is looking hot and heavy to start the year, man. I'm freaking excited for this guy, Jermaine McEwan, in that 2RF role, 16.3% owned, which I think is criminally under-owned. I think he'll be very much like close to 30% plus owned by round 3, round 4. 407k, the guy that is going to be replacing Kai Pearce-Paul, who finished at right edge. I think he's like literally 600k now for the Tigers, which is a wicked price. I honestly would not be shocked if McEwan gets that same price as well, because we're expecting McEwan to be an 80-minute right edge player here, which he's got the motor for it. He played 80-minute games last year, a few of them, and he scored absolutely ridiculous as well. 16 games last year, averaged 50 minutes, averaged 42 points a game there. Sorry, that says 11 tries. That's completely my bad. He scored 3 tries last year. Points per minute was 0.83 there, base of 34. So you put that 0.83 to 80 minutes there, he's going to average about 60 plus there. Maybe he scores a few more tries there as well on that right edge for Newcastle there. You've got to expect their attack to be better than what it was. Maybe you've got Sandon there next to him. Maybe you've got Dylan Brown roaming around there as well. Maybe you've got KP there as well. Base should be better as well. Now he's going to be taking, like, again, more points and tackles there as well. Absolutely love Jermaine McEwan to start the season. Absolutely love. One of my favorite players. He's going to be unreal. He's an absolute motor. Finally gets his opportunity there on the right edge. If they didn't believe in this guy, they would not have let go of Kai Pearce-Paul. That's pretty much straight up, in my opinion. He's an 80-minute right edge 2RF for Newcastle there. He can play there. I think he's going to average 60, close to 60 for the season there, especially to start the year. 16% owned just feels criminally under-owned for Jermaine McEwan to start the year. Season to start, got Cowboys in Las Vegas. We've got Manly on the road, Warriors at home, Bulldogs away, Raiders at home, Tigers away. Not the worst draw in the world at all, but I said not the best draw in the world at all. I think there's some favorable matchups. Cowboys, Manly, even Warriors at home, and then probably look at Raiders at home and Tigers away as well. Some good matches there. Does not have a bye until round 12 as well. Will not be playing Origin, most likely, like 99% sure of that one there. And then he's got a couple buys during the Origin period there. So you've got 11 games for Jermaine McEwan to start the season there, pending injury. And if he goes at that same points per minute, you're going to be looking at a 60 to 64 average there for an 80-minute 2RF there. 16% owned. It feels like close to a pod play. It just feels like you're getting such a good discount. Now, I get it. There's other players around that sort of mark. Maybe you're looking at Trey Mooney. Maybe you're looking at, obviously, David Fifita there as well. I think he's kind of like you're going to be your third 2RF in that sort of spot there. And I think you're getting a massive discount on a very talented player for a guy that was coming off the bench a lot last year. I said he played a few 80-minute games last year, but he averaged 50 minutes a game. So he's going to, you're going to push that from 50 pretty much to 80 around there. Maybe he plays at least 70 minutes. I just don't see. He's got the motor for it, so he may as well keep him there on that right edge. Newcastle attack was abysmal last year. Now you're going to get a better Newcastle attack. You've got a new coach, fresh halves in there. He's got a wicked base, a wicked motor. I am 100% starting with Jermaine McEwan to start the year. All right, that'll do me, guys. There is your 6 guys to start the year that I will be 100% starting with to start the year. Let's look through them quickly again. We've got Tino, we've got Keano Kini, we've got my boy Nicho Hynes, we've got Latrell Mitchell, we've got Hectic Cheese, Brandon Smith, and we've got Jermaine McEwan there from Newcastle there. 6 guys I will 100% be starting with. A big tick for me to start the year. I think there is so much upside in these players to either make cash or the ability to score a lot of points coming in at a discounted price to start the year. That'll do it for me. Let me know in the comments who you 100% starting with to start the season there. Obviously, you got David Fifita. I'll 100% be starting with him as well, but it seems like an obvious pick there. But yeah, let me know in the comments who you think I should be starting with, who you're definitely starting with, and I'll put in the comments what I think of it. But yeah, that'll do it for me, guys. That has been the episode of The Trade Room. Remember to go check out my other 2 episodes, my team reveal, which is, it's definitely changed now since the scoring changes, and 7 guys I would avoid to start the year that I think are overpriced, who have changed roles, who are looking at less minutes this year. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. That'll do it for me. That has been another episode of The Trade Room, and cheers.